Oh, hey. How are you going?
Good, I'm Mary. Nice to meet you. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Okay. Oh, exciting. Okay, so I just thought I'd get you to sort of define the field you work in and, your definition of what that is.
So I work in health communication, which basically looks at how clinicians or doctors and nurses and people that work in health, how do they talk to their patients and what is the impact of the way that they talk to them.
Yeah.
So basically, because a lot of people always say, yeah, communication is key and it's so important, but they don't really know how it works on a sort of fundamental level.
Yeah.
So you know when you go somewhere that if you click with someone or you don't click with someone, but you often can't really put your finger on. So if you go to a doctor and as a patient come back out after, and you're like, oh, that was a waste of time, they didn't listen, and I didn't get to say what I wanted to or what my actual problem is. That's sort of what we're looking at. My pet project that I'm really interested in is looking at uncertainty and how uncertainty is communicated, particularly around diagnosis.
Yep.
So if you go somewhere and the doctor isn't 100% sure about what they have, do they tell the patient? How do they tell them? How is the patient's response? Like, do they feel a bit annoyed not to get a concrete answer, or are they more appreciative because it's someone that has studied this to say, hey, I don't know, I need more tests, or I need to ask someone or consult with someone. But what I really like about this is because the way that you express uncertainty also overlaps with a lot of the sort of linguistic strategies that you have to build a rapport and relationship.
Yep.
So a lot of the little things, and I actually mean the little things that you say. So if the doctor said, oh, it looks like a little bit of a, I don't know, twisted ankle or broken or whatever, the little bit of is sort of so vague that it works in a couple of ways. So it can be the uncertainty, they don't know what it is, but it can also be, I know what it is, but I don't know if you know what it is. So from an interpersonal level, so that they're not the power-hungry doctor that uses all the big terms, they can sort of not dumb it down, but dial it down a bit to have it more accessible for the patient and build rapport in that way. Our findings usually come out of what they tell us and what we observe.
Yeah.
So sometimes they tell us directly what the problems are, and then in looking at the interactions we can see where they stem from and how they can be resolved. So we give recommendations, but they're always sort of based on the evidence that we found in analysing what we've collected from them.
Is there anything you would consider to be within your work a really big achievement, or something you would say is your biggest achievement in the field? Or
I like in the diagnostic and uncertainty, so diagnostic communication and uncertainty. I think that's sort of where what I do is groundbreaking, because I don't think anyone has really looked at what is happening there and how difficult it is to untangle how uncertainty is expressed versus how you use language to build rapport, and where the overlaps are, and what that also means in terms of diagnostic error.
Yep.
So a lot of time, if you think about it, how you can conceptualize what a diagnostic error is, it's first of all, it's if a clinician can't find an answer to what your health problem is.
Yeah.
But it's also clear a diagnostic error if they can't explain to you what your health problem is, including if they don't know what it is.
Yeah, no, I can tell from hearing you talk about it, you're very passionate.
Yes.
So it's really awesome. Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
My name is Marylouise Minehan, and I'm currently in my third year studying a double degree of Psychology and Visual Arts at ANU. I'm originally from Harden, in New South Wales, a rural town, and I went to school in Young, which is 20 minutes away from Harden. I was always very interested in art. My whole family's got a bit of a penchant for art. My mum and my older sister and my younger sister. And my older sister specifically taught me a lot about drawing, and that's how I think I can do a lot of what I do, is thanks to her. I just always found it was something cathartic for me to do. On top of doing actual study in more demanding theory-wise subjects, it was great to release with the practical sort of hands-on work. So in my work I'm choosing to represent Mary's research on uncertainty in the diagnostic context and how she dissects how language plays a role in giving a diagnosis a doctor might not be sure of. So I present that in the form of a video game to parallel how serious some players are about making those choices, because it affects the outcome of the game and how we are very flippant about language sometimes because it's so commonplace. But I've chosen to do that by giving a doctor, in this scenario, 3 options on how to communicate a diagnosis with contextual information on a separate panel to give the audience an idea of how difficult it is to communicate uncertainty in a diagnostic context. Throughout the process, I have been very mindful that this is a work that's based on real life research, and there's a real person that's going to react to this and see what they do every day come to life. So I'm really hoping that when Mary sees this, she thinks it's a good reflection of her character and how she works and what she works on, and can see that I really engaged and am really excited about showing other people what she works with.
Really love what you did with that. How did you get the game idea?
I was thinking about what you said in the interview about dialogue and how we communicate and how important decisions are when you are talking to people. And we don't take that very seriously sometimes. So I thought in a video game, people really do take seriously the choices they make. So I thought that was a good way to sort of parallel that.
So you got all the decisions down there.
Yeah.
And the patient, big questions up there. I really like that.
Thank you.
And you can sort of see the background information.
Yeah, it's kind of like you have to pull it all together to make
Yes.
your decision.
But I love how you all put that into sort of a gaming theme. And did you have a model for the person down there?
I did actually. I used my dad.
Is your dad?
Not because he's a doctor or anything, but just because I needed someone who you would look at and think, okay, that looks like a doctor, and I needed the high resolution image as well.
Okay, so you had one of your dads.
I did, yes. I took one of my dad.
Oh, do you think I can get a print of it for my office?
Yeah, I'd love to get you a print of it.
I'm so happy you got to do this. I really love how it turned out. I couldn't imagine what it would be like, but it's perfect. It's really more than I could ever have hoped for.
I'm really glad you like it in the end, and it was a really great experience getting to work with you and getting to learn about your research, and I guess see someone who's really passionate about what they do and makes a difference.
Oh, thank you. Well, so are you. So it's really great. Really, really great. Thank you.
Thank you.